BFTB, best fight the best. So, Terrence Bud Crawford and Earl the Truth Spence are going at it. You know what I'm saying? They're going at it on social media, constantly going at each other on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? They're two kings in a kingdom. You know, two bulls in a pasture, two lions in a cage. That fight will eventually happen. So they are teaching, they are showing Anthony Joshua how to build a fight. This is how you build a fight. This is how you build it. You talk shit to each other. You call each other out on social media. You know what I'm saying? You constantly say shit like, you don't do pussy shit like, oh well, you know, I'll fight. Well, let's just say Errol Spence was saying, well, you know, I'll fight Terrence Crawford when I'm in a position to win. What if Errol Spence was saying that? What if Terrence Crawford said, oh well, you know, Errol Spence has got to be realistic. He's not getting a percentage to fight me. What would we be saying then? What would we be saying about either one of them? We are grasping for straws right now when it comes to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. You know, they are jockeying for position. You know what I'm saying? To see who's going to be the A side when they fight, who is going to be this, blah, blah, blah. They're jockeying for position. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them are backing down from each other. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them. What they're doing right now is they're showing people how you build a fight. The anticipation. The fans on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Luckily for me, I'm a fan of both. So this is just going to be a great fight for me to watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate Terrence and I don't hate Bud. I'm a Spence. I love them both. So this is going to be a great fight for me. But for the Spence haters, you know what I'm saying? The ones that's like, oh, you know, well, Spence hasn't really fought anybody. And it's crazy because they have the same exact excuses for each other. You know what I'm saying? The haters do. The haters of either Spence or the haters of Crawford have the same exact excuses. He hasn't fought anybody. The people he fought are small, or he's not making no money, or which is all building. It's all building interest for this fight. That's all this is. What they are doing is what Anthony Joshua should have been doing. Deontay Wilder was the only one calling him out. Anthony Joshua was just like, all hesitant to even talk about the dude. You know what I'm saying? When they bring his name up, he's all like he's that, like Wilder's just beneath me. The dude, that is your rival. That is your big money fight. That is your big money fight. Talk shit. Press the issue. You know what I'm saying? Talk shit to the dude. Eddie Hearn did it. They're steering that boy wrong, man. For real, they're steering him wrong. Joshua should be out there just talking all kinds of shit, big shit, cash shit. But he won't even mention the dude's name. It's like, dude, this is your huge money fight, man. That's what Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford know about this. And people always say, oh, the business side. This is how you make the business side business. The fuck is wrong with y'all? You build it. This is how you build it. At this point, this is like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford is literally 50-50. Literally 50-50. All of his fans are saying Errol Spence, all Bud fans are saying Errol Spence gets washed. Terrence Crawford's a better boxer. You know what I'm saying? He's a mean motherfucker in the ring, and he's gonna go ham. All Errol Spence fans are saying, yo, Errol is the fucking truth. Man, he's just gonna walk this dude down and beat him up. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. You don't want people saying, oh, Errol Spence needs to be realistic. He needs to be realistic in negotiations and understand that he's not the A side. He needs to understand that, he needs to understand that he has to give in to Terrence Crawford's demands. He has to understand that. But nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying that. Nobody. They are saying this is the fight. And that's what they should have been saying about Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. That's what they should be saying. As it is right now, majority of people are saying Anthony Joshua is scared shitless of Wilder. Scared shitless. And many people in the UK, and I talked to a lot of them, many of them are saying the same exact thing that Americans are saying. Anthony Joshua is tailor-made for Deontay Wilder and gets starched. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. You got two guys that started around the same time, and they're doing this shit themselves. Now, let's be realistic again. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford can fight beginning of next year if they wanted to. It has nothing to do with networks. It has nothing to do with promotional organizations. It has nothing to do with nothing. So everybody coming at me with this, well, Terrence Crawford is on Bob Arum. Bob Arum ain't going to let him fight. Well, Terrence Crawford has fought PBC fighters before. So I'm not sure if you guys understand this, but Diaz is a PBC fighter. Just throwing it out there. He is a PBC fighter. But whatever. Like I said, if Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence want this fight right now, if they want it their next fight, like after Terrence Crawford beats Benavidez, because he's watching this dude. But after that fight, they can fight next. But they also understand, like I said earlier, the business aspect of it. This is how you build the fight. They're not going to fight each other next because it's stupid to fight each other next. Now, is it great for us, the fans? Hell yeah, I want it. I want it next. But I also understand, looking at these two lions in this cage, they are going to fight each other. This isn't a Riddick Bowe Lennox Lewis. This isn't a fucking Anthony Joshua Wilder where Joshua just don't want it no matter how much money is offered. This isn't that case. This fight will happen. Terrence Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence are going to fight each other. The difference is they are actually going to build it. It's actually going to get built the right way. They're going to continue to call each other out. They're going to continue to talk shit to each other. Ain't nobody backing down. Ain't nobody saying you got to be realistic. You're only getting the flat feet. Ain't nobody saying you got to come to fucking Dallas or you got to come to Omaha so I can have all the advantages on my side and you're going to take the smaller end of the stick. And there ain't nobody doing that shit. Nobody. These two bulls have locked horns and they're jockeying for position. That's it. Well, I ain't gonna say they locked horns yet. They ain't locked horns yet. But they're staring each other down, jockeying for position. You know what I'm saying? See who's gonna get the lion's share of the pasture that they both shared. This is how you build a fight. This is how you build it. Errol Spence got out there and shitted on that dude. Shitted on Terrence Crawford. What did Terrence do? Came right back at him. Right back at him. Told him, you got me fucked up in so many words. And then shitted on Adrian Broner too. I mean, you don't see Errol Spence shitting on Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford not saying nothing to Errol Spence, but then just talking shit to Adrian Broner. Now, he did talk shit to Adrian Broner, but he talked shit to Adrian Broner after he had already came back at Errol Spence. But look at Joshua. Deontay Wilder fucking pissing all in this dude Cheerios. And what does he do? Goes talk shit to some other fucking, well, who was that fucking fighter, that light-skinned dude he talked shit to? All up in his DMs like a bitch. All up in this nigga's DMs like a straight bitch. You know what I'm saying? Let me just jump in this guy's DMs right quick and talk shit about him, even though he ain't say shit to me about nothing. But let me just go ahead and jump in his DMs like a bitch and talk shit to him. Like what? Feminine characteristics, man. Absolute feminine characteristics. So this man talks shit to me. This man, Deontay Wilder, talks shit to me. But I'm going to see some dude over here that maybe I can bully. And I'm going to jump in his DMs like a bitch and talk shit about him. But I ain't going to say nothing to Wilder. I'm going to call Wilder on the phone. Because them motherfuckers talk. They talk. Deontay Wilder already said that shit. Like, yeah, they talk. And matter of fact, all of them motherfuckers said that shit. Shelly Finkel said that shit, that Anthony Joshua called him and asked him personally about the number. So they talk. But this motherfucker ain't talking no shit, though. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, welterweights. Two fucking hungry lions with heart are talking shit to each other. Coming at each other like, letting each other know, you know what I'm saying, there ain't no bitch in neither one of them. But yet you got the heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? You got a 3-belt heavyweight champion who is supposed to be, because the heavyweight champion, whoever the heavyweight champion is the baddest man on the planet. Regardless of the pound for pound, the mythical pound for pound shit. I said this once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Terrence Crawford is my number one pound for pound fighter. For me. But Deontay Wilder will knock his fucking head clean off his shoulders. With one punch. With a jab. You know what I'm saying? So, anybody thinking otherwise, just find yourself the highest cliff and jump off of it. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But still, even with that being said, and for people that are saying, just your number one pound, if he's your number one pound for pound fighter, you know what I'm saying? I've seen this before. I've seen people talking about this. I think I heard Bomac and them talking about it on Black Fight Fan, if I'm not mistaken. When they were saying that since Terrence Crawford is the number one pound for pound fighter on a lot of people's their thoughts and resumes and records, you know what I'm saying? If he's their number one pound for pound fighter, how is Errol Spence gonna beat him? And it's a good talking point, but it's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford is my number one pound for pound fighter because I think overall, you know what I'm saying, his style can beat anybody else in boxing, which is the whole point of a pound for pound fighter. Is how they fight. If they fought somebody in their weight class, how they fight, how would it stack up? I think Errol Spence is probably the number one welterweight. I think he's either 1A or 1B, but Terrence Crawford is 1A or 1B as well. It's a legit 50-50 fight. Their styles can beat each other, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to style, there's more to the fight than just style. But when it comes to style, you know what I'm saying, I would lean a little bit more towards Crawford, just because I've seen him box. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him box. Errol Spence doesn't really need to box. Not to say he can't, because I believe he can. I thought for sure Sean Porter couldn't box, but he proved me wrong. as he outboxed Danny. But it'll be a devastating sight to see Errol Spence box. It'll be it'll be great for me to watch, you know what I'm saying? But whoever he's boxing against will not be great for them. Because as of right now, Errol Spence doesn't need to box. You know what I'm saying? He just goes in the ring, you know what I'm saying, jockeys for position and beats the fuck out of you. He beats you down, you know what I'm saying? He jockeys for position and beats you down. His jab is highly underrated. And it's a stiff jab. And he has the best body work in boxing. I don't care what anybody else says. He has the best body work in boxing. The best. He's committed to it. He digs deep. I'm talking about under the rib. You know what I'm saying? He's punching through your spine with every punch. You know what I'm saying? That is his bread and butter. It don't motherfuckers go for the knockout, you know what I'm saying, try to knock you out, you know, to the jaw or the temple. He can do that too, but his bread and butter is erasing your rib cage and turning your whole midsection to putty. I mean, savagery, man. It's absolute savagery. But we all know this, and we also know that Terrence Crawford is a fucking mean motherfucker in the ring, a mean guy. You know what I'm saying? An actual mean guy that looking with every punch, every breath, with every fiber in his being to do you massive pain, damage, and humiliation. You know what I'm saying? This is the fight of fights right now. Well, not the fight of fights, because Wilder Joshua is still a fight of fights. To me, it's still a fight of fights. But this is the fight in the division. Every division has the fight. Actually, not every division, to be honest. They should have the fight, but there's only really two when you really want to think about it. And it's Wilder Joshua, Wilder Joshua Fury, that trio, and the new four horsemen of this era. People are going to say, oh no, these aren't the four horsemen. Duran, Leonard, and Hearns and Hagler, that's just it. They're a different breed. You know what? They are a different breed. I'll agree they are a different breed. But at this moment, right now, the four horsemen, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I mean, it just is what it is. But we all know, and if you don't know, then you need to do a little research, that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence will beat the brakes off of Keith Thurman, who is already mentally beaten. Now, if Keith Thurman wasn't mentally beaten, it probably might be a better fight. But Keith Thurman showed his ass when he turned down Spence when Floyd Mayweather said, if you want to fight me, beat Spence. When Floyd Mayweather told him that, and he was like, well, give me 10 million. At that point right there, he was a hoe. At that point, I'm like, you want 10 million to fight a prospect? You can't beat him, dog. You're mentally beaten right there. You're mentally beaten. Mentally beaten. And he's mentally beaten. Thurman's mentally beaten when it comes to Terrence Crawford too. Because he won't even mention the boy name. Like, you gladly welcomed flat-footed Danny Garcia to the welterweight division. You gladly did that. Why? Because he had a belt. So you gladly welcomed him to the welterweight division. Gladly. You called him out. Said, I will welcome Danny to the welterweight division. Where is this welcome mat for Terrence Crawford? Where is it? Terrence Crawford called you out when he was 140. He said he's moving up and fought and said he's moving up and wants to fight you when he was 140. Where are you at calling him out? I don't hear it. I've never heard you say it. I've never heard you call him out. I heard you say, "Oh, well, he's just a blown up 140." So what? So the fuck what? I don't care if he was a blown up 118 pounder. He's got the WBO belt. Go fight him. Go prove how blown up he is. Whatever, man. We already know the drill. And Terrence Crawford will Terrence Crawford will stop Sean Porter. Terrence Crawford will stop him. If Sean Porter is to avoid Errol Spence, You know what I'm saying? It's to avoid Errol Spence and go the Terrence Crawford route. You know what I'm saying? He will get stopped. He will get absolutely stopped. Stopped. And I'm taking all bets. Stopped. If he, whoever Sean Porter fights, whether it's Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, he's getting stopped. Stopped. Period. Either one, he's getting stopped. It just depends on either one is going to get stopped brutally, or the other one is going to get stopped savagely. But he's getting stopped. Stopped. Keith Thurman will be able to box and hang around, but he's getting stopped. His that fight, maybe that fight goes the distance. Actually, that fight could potentially go the distance, but with either one of them, with Keith Thurman, that can go the distance because he's better on his feet. Although Sean Porter fucking showed me masterful boxing, and I am impressed with his boxing that he did. But he's getting stopped, man. He's getting stopped. Look, but Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are showing up the heavyweights, man. They're showing them up. They are showing them up. And I'm not going to say they're showing them up. I'm going to say they're showing up Anthony Joshua. Because Deontay Wilder did his part. He did his part. You know what I'm saying? He did his part. He was out there calling that boy out, talking shit to him on social media, all up in his shit. And the only thing that Joshua fans can do is say, oh, well, why are you talking shit on social media? Real people do shit behind closed doors. But he wasn't doing that neither. Anthony Joshua didn't want nothing to do with behind closed doors. Nothing. He's just using that shit as a fucking cop-out so that he doesn't have to do anything. Oh, well, he's got to be realistic with negotiations. But then he's saying he's got to be realistic with negotiations. In public, he's saying that. In public. But then he's saying, in the same breath, oh, well, you know, real fights get made behind closed doors. But you're saying he's got to be realistic in public. In public, you motherfucker. You and Hearn are saying that. In public. So in public, you're saying he's got to be realistic about negotiations. But then say you got to do negotiations behind closed doors. How the fuck do those two things even match up? How do they match up? These are two lions. Well, I ain't gonna say the two lions. It's a lion in there. There's one lion, and then there's a sacrificial lamb in Joshua. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get the most out of the deal, and you're talking about real negotiations happen behind closed doors, then shut the fuck up about negotiations. Shut the fuck up about negotiations then, and go do them behind closed doors. But that's not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. That isn't what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, well, he's got to be realistic. He's just got to be realistic. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You just keep saying, oh, well, we're in negotiations. You don't want to, if you got two lions, that's why he blasted y'all. That's why he blasted y'all motherfuckers. That's why y'all motherfuckers is sitting out in the cold right now, fighting fucking another 40-year-old man in Povetkin. Another one. You're fighting another 40-year-old man in Povetkin, and he's fighting the lineal champion. His fight matters. Your fight don't. You're already talking about fighting Dillian White again. Dillian White again. A person that is universally recognized as another sacrificial lamb to Deontay Wilder. Another one. Don't nobody over there, nobody think Dillian White can beat Deontay Wilder. None of y'all do. Not one of y'all. I don't give a fuck what you say. Now, you can have nationality. I'm not nationality, but yeah, nationality. You can have that. You can be patriots all you want. You do not believe that Dillian White can beat Deontay Wilder. You don't believe that. You don't believe that. I'm telling you, you don't believe that. I don't need to add. I'm telling you, you don't believe that. Because if you did, then you would have been all pressing. You would have been all on Dillian White and pressing him to fight Luis Ortiz to become the mandatory. You would be pressing him to fight Luis Ortiz so that you can hold Deontay Wilder to his word about, okay, you said if I beat Luis Ortiz, then I fight you next. I just beat Luis Ortiz. What's up? You'll be pressing Dillian White to fight Luis Ortiz. But y'all are not. Y'all are saying, oh, the WBC is just doing him so wrong. They're doing Dillian White so wrong. Like they forced him to fight Robert Helenius for the WBC silver title. Nobody forced you to do that shit. You did it yourself. You should have read the fucking rules before you did it. Clown. But anyways, Terrence Crawford and fucking Errol Spence are showing Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn how to build a fight. They are showing them how to build a fight. You can't build a fight with Joshua no more with Wilder. You can't build that. You can't build that. You've already showed bitch. You've already showed too much bitch. The best thing you can do to save face, get this man 50-50 and go fight him. It's the best thing you can do. And that fight can be made today. Today. Anthony Joshua hoe ass sliding in motherfucking grown men's DMs. Sliding their DMs. Talking shit like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You sliding in grown men's DMs like a bitch. You can slide in Deontay Wilder's DM and say, 50-50, motherfucker, let's fight. 50-50. None of this, oh, you need to be realistic, Jamin. You need to be realistic, Jamin. You need to be realistic. You need to be realistic in negotiations, Jamin. No, just get in there and say, you got the WBC title, I want it. 50-50. April's open. 50-50, let's fight. I guarantee you Wilder will say, let's roll. And he will mean it, unlike your bitch ass. BFTB, and I'm out.